Today, we are exploring the story of a man and his dog, looking into the deep bond the two shared. In his final days, Ryan, grappling with a life-threatening condition, was surrounded by family who had traveled from afar to say their goodbyes. It was during this somber farewell that Molly, his beloved canine companion, revealed an unexpected and remarkable response. Please consider liking this video. Our goal is 5,000 likes for this video, and also consider subscribing for more videos like this in the future. Welcome to Wonderbot Animals. Ryan Jessen, 33 years of age and an expert in landscape design, toiled in his sunlit garden on a scorching summer day when he suddenly succumbed to an unexpected peril. Unbeknownst to anyone but his faithful boxer, Molly, he faced a dire predicament. In a testament to her intuition and intelligence, Molly persistently nudged Ryan to no avail. Faced with urgency, Molly made a decision that would prove crucial. Darting into the house, Molly sought out Ryan's sister, Michelle, communicating urgency without words. Confused but compelled, Michelle followed Molly into the yard, only to be met with a shocking sight that made her cry out in a horrified scream. Michelle reacted quickly, summoning help by contacting emergency services. When paramedics arrived, they delivered grim news to Michelle, expressing the gravity of Ryan's condition. Rushed to the hospital, doctors confirmed the severity of the situation. He had suffered from a brain hemorrhage that had dealt irreversible damage. Despite their efforts, the prognosis remained bleak. Confronted with the harsh reality, Michelle clung to hope as she observed her brother's precarious state. Although the night passed, offering a glimmer of optimism, she recognized the fragility of his existence. Determined to remain by his side, she held his hand through the night, reluctant to bid farewell. The following day brought another surprise, when the doctors, once again taken aback, found Ryan clinging to life by the thinnest of threads. Evidently, this ailing man harbored an unyielding determination to fulfill a purpose not yet revealed. Michelle, relieved by the unexpected resilience, dared to hope for an extended reprieve. In need of a brief respite, she left to freshen up and share the unfolding saga with their waiting family, a tale still untold. While their parents were away on a trip during her brother's unfortunate incident in the garden, rushing back home, Michelle harbored a keen desire to rejuvenate herself with a shower in the familiar confines of her own residence. Little did she anticipate the abrupt realization that someone pivotal had been left behind: Molly, the devoted canine companion. Amidst the preparation of lunch, Molly urgently burst into Michelle's room, sounding the alarm about Ryan's distress. In that moment, Michelle recognized the need to attend to Molly's well-being before returning to her brother's side. Upon arriving at Ryan's residence, Michelle was greeted by an unexpected scene that sent a shiver down her spine. The once serene living room now bore the marks of Molly's frenzied behavior. The couch lay torn, its cushions hollowed out, and loose fibers scattered across the room. Indoor pot plants were upturned, their contents sprawled across the floor. A deeper exploration revealed a cascade of chaos throughout the house, proof of Molly's frantic solitude in the absence of Ryan. This unparalleled display of destructiveness surpassed any previous encounters with Molly's mischievous tendencies. And while Michelle had endured episodes involving torn shoes and favorite bags, the extent of Molly's upheaval left her astounded. Michelle, who had spent numerous hours at her brother's house aiding in his landscaping ventures, had often found herself at odds with Molly. Despite her affinity for animals, the relationship between Michelle and Molly had been fraught with discord, leading to heated disputes with Ryan. The origin of this discord traced back to Ryan's decision to bring Molly home. Molly had once been a bedraggled and flea-bitten stray, and Michelle, perplexed by the choice, questioned the wisdom of adopting a dog that, at the time, was neither a puppy nor guaranteed to be free of potential maladies. Ryan's devotion to Molly remained unwavering, however, as he was undeterred by the occasional discord with his sister. On an ordinary day like any other, as he embarked on a landscaping project, Michelle bid him farewell, expecting nothing out of the ordinary. Upon his return, Ryan introduced a new member to the family, a dog he had rescued from near Sutter S.E. Cemetery. Spotted on the roadside, dehydrated and forlorn, the abandoned dog had captured Ryan's compassion. Recognizing the dire situation, he offered water and, with persistence, coaxed the canine into his car. She spent the rest of the day accompanying Ryan before becoming a permanent part of his life. From the outset, it was evident that a profound bond was forming between Ryan and the dog, named Molly. However, this connection was accompanied by a peculiar aversion from Michelle. Molly exhibited a protective demeanor, growling and barking whenever Michelle approached, a source of amusement for Ryan given their close sibling relationship. Over the ensuing weeks, Ryan and Molly's bond deepened, leading him to formally adopt her. He invested time in training Molly, who proved to be an ideal companion during his landscaping ventures outside the city. Ryan further immersed himself in their shared outdoor experience, with Molly becoming an integral part of his fishing expeditions and a constant presence at his side indoors, even sharing his bed. The seamless integration of Molly into Ryan's life posed an unforeseen challenge for Michelle, who had never dealt with Molly directly. Ryan's meticulous training meant that Michelle had never faced any significant issues with the well-behaved dog. Now, confronted with what felt like domestic upheaval in her brother's abode, Michelle found herself grappling with acts of canine terrorism perpetuated by Molly. The chaotic aftermath added an extra layer of stress to Michelle's already burdened shoulders. It had become personal between them, a battle not just with the looming possibility of her brother's impending demise, but also with a canine adversary that harbored animosity towards her, wreaking havoc in Ryan's home without an apparent cause. At one point, Michelle had enough and decided to search for the dog to teach right from wrong, only to discover Molly cowering in the kitchen, emitting mournful sounds. This unexpected sight prompted Michelle to question her own emotions. The realization dawned that Molly's distress might be rooted in a genuine concern for her unconscious owner. For the first time since Ryan had rescued Molly, the two had been forcibly separated. The last image Molly had of Ryan was of him unconscious, exacerbating her distress. Witnessing the sadness etched on Molly's face, Michelle's anger dissipated, replaced by a deep understanding of the dog's pain. Michelle, overcome with emotion, collapsed beside Molly on the floor, tears streaming down her face. As she embraced the distressed dog, Michelle shared a poignant moment filled with grief, frustration, and anger, mirroring Molly's turmoil. Peering into Molly's eyes, Michelle sensed an unsettling uncertainty. Molly, unable to articulate her concerns, grappled with the unknown fate of her beloved owner. Michelle recognized that Molly likely felt abandoned, a realization that spurred her to take decisive action. Understanding that Molly needed to see Ryan in the hospital to assuage her anxiety, Michelle, despite her reservations about their relationship, acknowledged the necessity of this reunion. Compassion for the suffering dog compelled Michelle to act. In addition to comforting Molly, the visit would serve as a distraction for Michelle from the grim reality awaiting her at the hospital. The looming prospect of having to face a difficult decision about Ryan's future weighed heavily on her, a burden that she was unprepared to bear. However, a significant hurdle presented itself, as hospital policies didn't typically permit animals inside for hygiene reasons. Michelle fervently pleaded with Rideout Regional Medical Center's administration, enlisting the support of other family members, including her parents, but to no avail. Tragically, the doctors then delivered a grim prognosis, revealing that Ryan likely wouldn't survive the day. In the midst of this emotional turmoil, Michelle remembered Molly. Now aware of Ryan's inevitable fate, she pleaded once more for an exception, allowing Molly a final visit to bid farewell. Now, despite the hospital's initial resistance, they eventually yielded, permitting Molly a single opportunity to say goodbye to her cherished owner. When Molly finally entered the room, she raced to the bed, emitting plaintive whines. Eager and desperate to reunite with Ryan, Molly paced around the hospital room, conveying a clear desire to jump onto the bed and cuddle with Ryan, a ritual they had shared every morning at home. As soon as she was allowed, Molly leaped onto the bed. Curiously, she began to sniff Ryan, emitting soft, anxious whimpers that betrayed an underlying concern. However, Ryan remained unaware of the unfolding scene, and Molly, unable to comprehend the gravity, continued to sniff him more anxiously. Now, while Ryan did not seem recognizable at first, Molly was soon guided by the distinct scent of her best friend. Unable to fully comprehend the situation and why Ryan was connected to machines and tubes, the room could feel her instant sadness. In a heartbreaking moment, Molly sought comfort between Ryan's legs, a place where she had always felt safe since he rescued her. Michelle, understanding the significance of this ritual, was moved by the poignant choice of Molly's resting place. As the day wore on, Ryan's condition deteriorated. By the afternoon, the doctors advised the family to prepare for the inevitable and bid their final farewells. Accepting the reality, Michelle steeled herself to say goodbye to her brother. Molly, still lying between Ryan's legs, emitted mournful sounds, now assuming the role of comforter to her beloved owner. In his final moments, surrounded by family and the loyal Molly, Ryan peacefully let go. True to his compassionate nature, Ryan had been an organ donor. His altruistic act translated into a life-changing gift for 7 individuals, one of whom was a 17-year-old boy. In his passing, Ryan's legacy of kindness and generosity lived on through the lives he touched. In the end, Michelle became Molly's new guardian, welcoming her into the fold of her existing canine companions at home, learning to see Molly in a new light, and they quickly bonded over their shared love of Ryan.